What is one to do if he finds Chametz on Pesach in his house? So yeah, here it is. I know my grandchildren come to visit, and they keep discovering things that I have that I've long forgotten that I ever owned. They show up and they say, Saba, what is this? And I'm totally astounded at their capacity to discover things that I have already misplaced for years and years. So what happens if you find Chametz in your house on Pesach? Let's say there's a cupcake left over from Purim. One of your children hid it away in order that he should be able to eat it at a later date, but then forgot. And today it's not like the old days, because everything is made out of chemicals, and the chemicals don't go bad. So you have an absolutely edible cupcake that's left over from Shalach Manos on Purim. What do? So you remember that there are two problems with Chametz. One is the problem of owning it, and the other is the problem of eating it. Now, in order to avoid owning Chametz on Pesach, we've already done as much as we could possibly do. We've looked for the Chametz, B'digat Chametz. We've burned up the Chametz we found, Shreifat Chametz. We have done Bitul. We've done away with our ownership of all the Chametz in our possession, and we said, the Chametz that we know about and the Chametz that we don't know about. So we should be in the clear as far as the ownership problem of Chametz is concerned. Of course, the Rishonim are also concerned about this idea of denying ownership of something that's in your property. It's not so clear that you can take something that you have in your house and say, poof, it doesn't belong to me. But let's say you could. And let's say this cupcake that you found doesn't belong to you. But there happens to be another problem with Chametz. And that problem is that you can't eat it. And if you can't eat the Chametz, you have to protect yourself against eating that Chametz. It's not enough to say, oh, I'm not going to eat it, because you have other people who come around. You might forget. Sometimes you get up in the morning and you don't know that it's Pesach. Who knows what you're thinking? So you have to do something to protect yourself from the Chametz that you've just discovered. The only thing you can do is to get rid of it. The only thing you can do is to get rid of it. So you have to take the Chametz, you take the cupcake with the sprinkles on top of it, and you have to destroy it. You have to destroy it. One way of destroying it is, again, you could burn it up. If it's Chol HaMoed, you could throw it down the toilet. That's also a good way. What do you do if it's Yontif? Yontif, you have to just get rid of it by throwing it down the toilet, by throwing it into the sea, by making sure that you will no longer have any access to that Chametz which was found in your house. This is not an uncommon problem. No matter how well we clean, no matter how much we push our hands behind the closet, there's always someone who comes along who has smaller hands and can push even further and finds the most amazing things. When I first came to Eretz Yisrael in Yerushalayim, it was very common for people in Mei Hasharim to take the furniture out of their house and put it on the street and then clean their house. And I always wondered, I thought it was a little excessive. I mean, taking the furniture out of your house, taking the beds out, the closets out. But there's no doubt, if you take all the furniture out of your house and then you clean the floors, your chances of finding Chametz on Pesach are greatly reduced. We have a lot of stuff, and we have it all piled up in odd places, and we have stuff in the back of closets and under the doors and in back of cupboards that we have long not been using. So we have to do our best to get rid of the Chametz, but the Chametz that we discover as a result of the fact that we can't be perfect is Chametz that has to be gotten rid of. Of course, on Yontif or on Shabbos, we have to follow the limitations imposed by Yom Tov or Shabbos. During the week, during Chol Hamoed, it's easy enough to get rid of the chametz. On Shabbos and on Yom Tov, you have to be a little bit more circumspect, but in order to protect yourself from eating the chametz, even if we say that the chametz itself is no longer under my domain, I am no longer the owner of the chametz, nevertheless, you have to protect yourself and others against the possibility of eating the chametz. And to do that, you have to get rid of it. Chag kosher v'sameach.